Hi everyone, today's Tuesday talk time. Today I'm going to talk about my week 1 January results and tell you a little bit about what kind of program I'm doing this month. I'm going to show you some 80-20 meal examples. In fact, I'm going to show you my favorite meals of the week and just talk about a couple other things all related to what I'm doing. So let's get right to it. Let's talk about December, because last week on January 1st, I think I was in a meat fog because I woke up and didn't weigh myself. I didn't weigh myself till January the 2nd. So good news and bad news for December. The bad news is that I was up 3 pounds, 3 pounds up. The good news is was so much better than other years, and more good news, I've lost it this week. So I'm back where I was, which is okay. It's a fresh start today. We are 8 days into January as of today, and I'm really excited about how things are going. So I'm going to talk about what exactly I'm doing this month. I'm still doing the high-fat carnivore. 80% fat or higher. I've made a couple of changes. It's World Carnivore Month. I wanted to kind of tighten things up a little bit, see if I can improve my results. I have a big weight loss goal this year. I want to get close. I want to get to within grasp of my goal. I feel like it's just been inching. I have lost, for those of you that are new, over 130 pounds, okay? So, but it seems to be getting, more strenuous than it was in the beginning, which I know that's normal. This month in January, I am not doing any dairy, although I did accidentally have some the other day without thinking, but it was a very small amount in a recipe. I just kind of forgot that, oh yeah, I'm not doing dairy. Other than that small error, I'm not eating cheese, I'm not having any cream, anything like that. No sour cream, nothing like that. The only dairy I have is butter, and I don't really count that as dairy. It's for myself, it's very minuscule. I do well with butter. I'm also having no sweeteners, so like none. Before I was the last couple of months, I was having no sweeteners, but I was having my daily element, but I bought myself some of the unflavored ones, and there is no sweetener in there. They are just like salty. But I have come up with a way that I like them, and so it's all good. You'll probably see that in my next What I Eat in a Day video. I'll show you my butter water. It's actually really good. A lifesaver in the afternoon when I need a pick-me-up. So those are the kind of changes that I am making this month for food. I'm also making other changes. So I want to talk just for a moment about the fact that I've been in Kelly Hogan's private coaching groups, which I'm really enjoying. I did that in December, and I enjoyed it so much that I signed up again for January. The thing that I really like about her groups, I like that she's so hands-on. I like that, she's just so funny. Like, she always makes me laugh if nothing else, I get those endorphins from laughing from her. But she provides information every week. It's backed by studies, which she sends by email. It's really amazing. But I felt after I took her group coaching in December, I felt like I had more clarity about what and why I was doing. I thought I was going to go into her coaching to learn more about high-fat carnivore, and I discovered now that I've been doing this for 3 months, I actually know an awful lot about high-fat carnivore. But what I'm learning is the bigger picture. And it's so cool because it's not all about the weight. I have been finding and it's not all about the food. There are so many other things. There's sleep, there's mood, there's movement, there's so many things. And so I've been working on quality of life issues that I've had. The biggest one being sleep. I've set other goals that have nothing to do with what food I'm eating. Yes, I do the food. That's a focus, because I want results there, but the other things contribute. And I hadn't really given that as much attention as I should have. The other thing that I really like about Kelly is that she gives a voice to those of us who struggle with regular carnivore. To me, regular carnivore is the eat meat until you're full and don't worry about much else. Drink water, maybe have some salt. That works for a lot of people. And that's great. And if that works for you, fantastic. Like, why change anything? Why struggle with the 80-20? I'm going to show you on my chart what happens to me when I do the regular carnivore advice. I'm going to show you like the proof that I've seen to myself of what it does. So I just so appreciate that she's not dogmatic and, you should just, because I get a lot of people when I publish these videos about measuring my ketones and, worrying about macros and trying to I get a lot of pushback from other carnivores who say I'm doing it wrong or whatever. Just don't worry about those things. I do worry about those things, and I'm going to share why. So, by the way, I'm going to link Kelly's channel below. Pretty sure that all her videos, if you look down below in her notes, she has a way to check out her group coaching. I highly recommend it. So I'll provide that information. So as far as why I care, let's start with my first chart. I have it here in front of me, but you will also see it up on the screen. So let me share with you that the last 2 weeks of December, because it was so busy and there was so much going on, to me it was the easiest to forget about, I didn't even track macros. I went back to, regular carnivore. I just ate meat. I just, if I was hungry, I ate meat. I had fat if because I've learned to really like the fat, but I didn't worry about measuring. And I ate a lot more meat than I normally do. I ate a lot more dairy than I normally do. I ate processed meats, when you go out for, Christmas parties and things, I always gravitate to any trays that have meats and cheeses on them because I know those are safe for me, fairly safe. But here's what happens. So I did that for the last 2 weeks of December. Just take a look at my January 1st numbers. Ketones, 0.3. My blood glucose is okay. I'm happy with the 88.2. Look at the GKI, 16.3. I'm going to put up the GKI chart just for a moment so you can refresh yourself on what that means. That means no ketosis. I'm just like anyone else out there who's eating whatever they want and don't care about ketosis. So that's what that 16.33 means. It's like off the charts. The Dr. Boz ratio. These numbers to me are like, why even bother? The other thing to point out is that on January 1st, I went right back to high-fat carnivore. It took me 5 days to get my numbers back down to where I am happy with them. I am happiest when my GKI is less than 3. And Dr. Boz ratio, in the 40s or less. Now, a lot of people say, well, why does that matter? Why do you need to be, in this healing mode? Because as you saw from the chart, for the GKI chart, That is what they call nutritional or therapeutic level of ketosis. Why do I care about that? Because a lot of people will also tell me that I don't need to worry about ketones and all those things. Well, having ketones is very preventative for certain diseases. And in my family, I don't know as much about my father's side, but on my mother's side, there is strong family history of breast cancer, Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes. Those are the big three that are rampant out there on my maternal side. Having ketones is good for those things. If you don't believe me, go out there and start checking out some videos about that. Like Dr. Berry's, Dr. Sieves, I can't remember who else off the top of my head. I should have written them down, but you can look into that yourself and research that yourself, and having ketones is very beneficial to prevent those things. And so this is why I care about my GKI. I will do what I have to do to keep it in that 3 or less zone. I mean, there might be times when it goes up a little bit, but that's generally where I want to keep it. So you can see that it took me 5 days to get it down there, and now I'm keeping it there. And my ketones, the blood ketone column, you can see that every day it kind of gets a little bit better. So what am I eating to get there? I'm going to show you my favorite meals, and a lot of these meals are on repeat. So I have that in front of me, and it's now going to be up here. High on my list is beef fat trimmings, and they cost here in Canada, which our meat prices are high. I've heard of some people getting these for free. That's awesome. I've heard of some people getting them for 99 cents a pound. I myself pay $1.99 a pound for these. I go into the butcher and I just say, do you have any beef fat trimmings? And 90% of the time they don't. And I say, but they normally offer this, but if they don't, I ask them if they could save me some, and if I could come back in a couple of days. So they take my name, and I've had no trouble getting them for $1.99 a pound. They are super delicious in the air fryer, and so I have that several times a week. This next picture on the top there, that is Eggs Benedict. I'm going to link that video below. It's one of my new videos. It is basically 2 pieces of cloud bread, 2 egg yolks on top, and I poured some hollandaise sauce over top. That was one of my favorite meals this week. In fact, today I am making some more cloud bread so that I can have that again this week. Once you have all those things in the fridge, so easy to put together. And here's a new food I tried, the next picture over, salmon bellies. Those are delicious. I have not done a video on those, and I'm going to. They are very high in fat, very high in omega-3s. I can see myself eating those quite a bit now. And if you like salmon but are horrified at the price, these were cheap. These were about $3 a pound. And salmon, salmon is outrageous. Next time I'm at the store and I grab these, I'm going to walk over to the regular salmon and compare, get you a price comparison so that you'll see how much cheaper they are, and yet you get so much salmon meat on that. I make the skin crispy. I love eating the whole thing. The nutritional, the fatty acids in there, omega-3s, unbelievable. I also had a little bit of tuna sashimi on the side there that I bought the same place I got the salmon bellies from, and with the hollandaise sauce, those were awesome. So the next picture, bottom left, I made a brisket. I left the full fat cap on. and that allowed me to make brisket bacon. So, and that was simply a matter of cutting the cold brisket as thinly as possible. It fries up super crisp, just like bacon. It is amazing. And I had that with egg yolks. I think I had that almost every morning last week because I was trying to use up all my leftover brisket. And now I'm going to have to make another one. The next one over is I just had some boneless beef rib cubes. They're very fatty and have lots of collagen. I had pork rinds with a new mayo that I made, combining half butter, half bacon grease. Because butter is expensive here, it's $9 a pound. So I'm trying to, instead of making all butter mayo, I cut the price in half by putting in half bacon flavor. It was really good, delicious on pork rinds. And I'm going to link that video below, spreadable as well. And lastly, I want to talk about sardines because I truly love sardines. It is something that I eat, I would say 3 times a week, approximately, just to get those omega-3s in. And also I like them, but I have discovered that all the brands taste a little bit different, and all the different types of sardines taste a little different. So up until recently, I had been buying it just in a package, sardines in water. That's all it said. And I would open the can and there'd be maybe 3 or 4 sardines in there. So they were fairly large. Then I decided to try a different brand, and this can, and I had no idea what this all meant, but this can said bristling sardines. I opened up the can, and to my surprise, there was like 15, little tiny sardines in there, and I was shocked because I had never seen that before. They were delicious. That's my new favorite. And so now, for some reason, they are like $1 more per can than the other ones. That's okay. Well worth it. The other tip I'll give you about sardines is that if you keep your sardines in the fridge, take them out cold. Like I just like to eat mine out of the can. Take them out. While they're cold, eat them, and they're like, I guess it's being refrigerated. There's no fishy smell or taste to me. You can try that and see if that's the same for you, because if it makes a difference. I did do a recipe for sardine bites, which a lot of people have said it was the first time they tried sardines, and they can do the sardine bites. So I'm going to link that below for you as well, in case you're skittish about the sardines. But I do really like them, and I look forward to these little ones. So all of these meals on that picture are more than 80% fat. Some are like 90% fat. So I hope that gives you, kind of an idea of some meals that you can make. I'm going to put my 80-20 playlist down below, which includes a lot of these videos where I've been cooking 80-20. And I'm really looking forward to seeing my results next week. And I'm going to talk more about the chart. I know that a lot of you are going to have questions about this chart because it looks different than the chart that I was using. And so I'm going to explain more about it next week. I've decided to do my own chart and stop using other people's charts because, I just figured I know what I want to track for myself. And so, I can show you guys how to make your own chart if you want. But we'll talk about that more next week because I want to try to keep these short. I've had some comments lately that my videos are too long. So, okay. I try to keep it short, but I know I tend to get talky sometimes. So sorry about that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.
I'm done.